Hey everyone, welcome to the second week of July 2025 Railfan updates and announcements. Before we get started, I want to let you all know that I won't be able to post a Railfan updates and announcements video on the third week of July, as I'll be busy documenting this year's National Railway Historical Society convention in Michigan. I will do my best to gather any updates and announcements for this coming week and combine them with the fourth week of the July's worth of Railfan updates and announcements in one video like I did last time I was on a week-long trip. And we definitely have a lot to go over this week, so let's begin. From the previous weekend, Main Central 470's coffin feed water heater was in the process of being removed, as this task will allow the restoration crews of the New England Steam Corp easier access to the locomotive's tubes. The Railroad Museum of New England's Torrington platform continues to make great progress, as the canopy is in the final stages of completion, the concrete platform is done, and the track reconstruction will start in the next few weeks. The volunteers of the Oyster Bay Railroad Museum are staying busy working on various projects throughout the museum, including work on the Garden Railway, a few parts of Long Island Railroad steam locomotive number 35, and some welding and grinding on a coach car. Interested future volunteers can fill out the contact form on the museum's website to show your interest in helping preserve Long Island Railroad history. We have an upcoming Iron Horse Society fundraiser excursion to benefit Steamtown's restoration projects. On Sunday, August 17th, there will be an ice cream express train from Scranton to Goldsboro and back. This family-friendly event comes with complimentary ice cream, a live Dixieland band performance, classic car display, and access to the historic Goldsboro Station Museum and gift shop. If you missed the Long Island Railroad 39's 96th birthday party event at the Railroad Museum of Long Island, don't worry, because the Northwestern Modelers will be at the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania on July 26th and the 27th. Also, the Steam Up Long Island Railroad 39 campaign will also have a table set up at the museum. That's not all though, as the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania is preparing for the construction of the new roundhouse to help protect their Pennsylvania Railroad steam locomotives from the weather, and groundbreaking ceremony will take place on Tuesday, July 29th at 11 a.m. And speaking of the Long Island Railroad number 39, the volunteers of the Railroad Museum of Long Island have been working on the frame of the locomotive. Old wooden structures were made to help protect the steam chest and the interior of the cylinders. Recently, new ones replaced the old ones, which will help keep the frame preserved while the Railroad Museum of Long Island continues fundraising for the 39. Strasburg Railroad coach car number 96 recently had its east truck removed to have its wheels replaced. Coach number 96 was recently built for the Boston and Maine Railroad. The Middletown and Hummelstown Railroad Preservation Society is having another ice cream fundraiser event at the Jack Frost Frozen Desserts in Middletown, Pennsylvania on Thursday, July 17th from 4 to 8 p.m. And a portion of the profits will go towards the Preservation Society. Last year's ice cream fundraiser raised $260 for the society, so let's beat that record this year. A Baltimore and Ohio office car named the Silver Spring was recently donated to the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad. This car will help grow the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad's passenger car fleet. After a period of maintenance, the famous Norfolk and Western J-Class number 611 will be ready pulling excursion trains back on the Buckingham Branch's Virginia Scenic Railway this coming fall. Also, the Virginia Scenic Railway and the Steam Railroading Institute will be providing their passenger cars for the upcoming excursions, so shout out to you guys. I also want to give a shout out to the Virginia Mechanical Preservation Society of Goshen, Virginia, as they developed the new Victoria Station to host steam excursions, so thank you. At the Gorham Historical Society and Railroad Museum in Gorham, New Hampshire, their focus was to complete the repaint of steam locomotive number 7531's tender. The next steps include work on the locomotive's boiler and cab. This museum is in northern New Hampshire and is currently open on Fridays and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on both days. The Northern Central Railway recently received a $10,000 grant from the Pennsylvania 250 to help prepare for the 250th anniversary of America celebration, so stay tuned for event details coming in 2026. Work continues on the frame repair of Grand Trunk Western number 4070 at the Midwest Railway Preservation Society, so help keep the momentum going by donating to the 4070 today. We have more exciting updates from the Steam Railroading Institute, as X Via Rail coach number 5467 and the Pure Barquette 1225 were both recently sandblasted. It won't be long until both the 1225 and this coach go back into service. The Cooperstown and Charlotte Valley Railroad in Milford, New York, recently took the delivery of a caboose. This tourist railroad offers multiple specialty-themed train rides. The railroad is about a 90-minute drive west of Albany, New York, and about a 2-hour drive east of Syracuse, New York. Crossroads Railcar Services continues the restoration work on a former Pennsylvania Railroad Clocker coach car for the Rail Excursion Management Company, or RailExco. Once the restoration is finished, it will join the active fleet. Chesapeake and Ohio diesel locomotive number 5704 recently received some cosmetic work, and folks can ride behind this locomotive starting later this month, July 2025. The Nashville Steam Preservation Society has reached another major milestone, filling Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis number 576's boiler with water for the first time in over 70 years. This was done to gradually pressurize the boiler so the crews can identify and repair any leaks. This step will prepare the locomotive for its official hydrostatic test. Union Pacific number 5511 is also one step closer to a hydro test, as 5511's superheater header and dry pipe have been rebuilt, remanufactured, and reinstalled inside the locomotive. We've got some exciting news at the Colfax Railroad Museum in Wisconsin, as they have received an $860,000 grant from the State of Wisconsin Department of Administration through the grants of local construction projects. This grant will fund a structure over the museum's rail cars, restoration of the outdoor equipment, and more. The Railroad Museum of Minot, North Dakota is selling 2 of their 4 cabooses, and the museum is accepting sealed bids either on location or mailed until October 1st. Letters must be sent to the Railroad Museum of Minot, P.O. Box 74, Minot, North Dakota 58702. The winner of the bid will be responsible for the moving and transportation costs, and the minimum bid must be at least $2,000. A former U.S. Army General Electric 44-tonner diesel locomotive has been restored and named after the U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower at the Abilene and Smoky Valley Railroad. Coming August 1st to the 3rd is the North Platte Railroad Days event in North Platte, Nebraska. This Railroad Days event features tours of Union Pacific's Bailey Yard, train displays, model train show, live music, and more. Not too long ago, Southern Pacific 210-2 number 982 was moved out of its previous storage location and will eventually be moved to a new partner's property. Now, another thing that the folks at the Texas Railway Preservation Association want everyone else to know is that this locomotive was never in danger of being scrapped, simply the property owner of the previous location wanted the engine out as soon as possible. Things are literally moving along again for the Southern Pacific 982, and I encourage more folks to donate to this locomotive so it can steam again for all to see. Following the exciting news on the Rio Grande Southern number 20 operating on the Durango and Silverton next year, Rio Grande Southern Caboose number 0404 will undergo a full overhaul and repainting in Durango. And this caboose is also expected to join the Rio Grande Southern number 20 on the special winter excursions on the Durango and Silverton. We have another diesel locomotive painted in a patriotic paint scheme for the upcoming 250th anniversary of America celebration, this one at the Nevada Northern Railway. Work on the fireman's side air compressor of Santa Fe 484 number 2926 was recently finished by the hard-working folks at the New Mexico Heritage Rail. Keep supporting and donating to New Mexico Heritage Rail to help them prepare for bigger events for Santa Fe 2926. Over in California, Granite Rock Tank Engine number 10 recently performed a successful shakedown run on the California State Railroad Museum's Sacramento and Southern Railroad. Stay tuned on when Granite Rock 10 will be carrying passengers again in the future. The Alaska Railroad 557 recently had its cylinder head sandblasted and will be ready for paint soon. And last but not least, E.B. Eddy Tank Engine number 2 was recently on its way back to Ottawa. The locomotive will be stored at a private industrial site where asbestos remediation will begin. Once eventually transferred over to the Canadian Science and Technology Museum, preparations will begin with a hydrostatic test of the boiler. Well, that was another long episode of Railfan updates and announcements. Thank you all so much for joining me. And a reminder, do not expect a Railfan updates and announcements video on the 3rd week of July, but stay tuned for the NRHS convention videos. And as usual, don't forget to click on the links below in the description to learn more, buy your tickets, or donate. And the best way to stay up to date on more Railfan updates and announcements videos in the future hit the subscribe button and click the receive all notifications option after clicking the bell. A playlist of the Railfan updates and announcements videos will be on the left, as well as another video on the right. And of course, likes and comment your excitement and support down below really helps this YouTube channel support more rail preservation projects. This is Transcontinental Railfan, and I'll see you in the next video.